and things.
Hey everyone, what's going on? It's your girl T.I.E here, which stands for Together Individual Entertainment. Alright, today's story is Halloween Scare in Pittsburgh. This is our last and third Pittsburgh book about Halloween. So don't fret, I still have more Halloween books. This is just our final Pittsburgh book about Halloween or whatever. So let's get into it, shall we? Prepare if you dare for a big Pittsburgh scare, a tale of pure terror to within your hair. A night full of sights that are best left unseen. Are you ready? You sure? This was my Halloween. The werewolf howled loudly. The moon shone so bright. I slid into my bedroom, the curtains shut tight. My heart started pounding. My knees felt so weak. But being a brave kid, I just had to peek. I pulled back the curtain, my mouth opened wide. An army of monsters had gathered outside. They scragged and stumbled and lurched down the streets with bags full of cookies and candy corn treats. Emerging from sewers and houses and stores came creatures and critters from ravenous roars. More came along from all over the state. They filled up the streets at a dizzying rate. From Bloomfield and Oakwood, and Shadyside too, a mountain of monsters the moonlit grew. All gathered together for one spooky night to seek out the living and give them a fright. The thunder clapped loudly with tremble. Terrible booms, the witches dodged lightly and clung to their brooms. The two-headed doggies tried chasing their tails, and banshees let loose with their hideous wails. The vampires hung out on the street with their gangs and grin just to show off their pearly white fangs. The mummies moaned loudly and swayed side to side while Frankenstein stomped about town with his bride. The gaggle of witches arrived in the dark to play witches baseball at PNC Park. With broomsticks for bats and the balls made lightning, the game was quiet, thrilling, but also quite frightening. The city of bridges attracted the trolls who guarded those crosses and charged sky high. Tolls the locals got fed up with these goings on and grabbed the trolls, showing them into the mud. The creepies were crawly, the crazies were crazed. The Hazelwood zombies had eyes that were glazed. The Sheridan ogres were ugly as sin with big bulging noses and the wars on their chin. The ghouls danced around but were lacking in soul. The gargoyles could not rock, and the headless couldn't roll. Although the whole spectacle seemed to spell doom, I foolishly thought I'd be safe in my room. But then something happened that made my heart jump. From somewhere below me, I heard a big thump. I froze for a moment, as quiet as a mouse. Yes, I could hear noises from inside the house. I put on my slippers. I pulled out my robe. I shook like a leaf. But I don't think it showed. Then slowly but surely I crept down the stairs, preparing myself for the biggest of scares. My hands trembled wildly. I opened the door, and I still shudder now at the horrors I saw. The stereo spat out some hideous sounds as dozens of monsters jumped madly around. The sight was horrific. It made my skin crawl. These monsters were having their Halloween ball. And right in the middle of the monster loomed tall, the hairiest, scariest monster of all. He turned around and saw me. I fell to my knees. I'm not very tasty, so don't eat me, please. He beamed ear to ear and broke free from the huddle, ran over and gave me a big monster cuddle. At last, we have found you, he said with a smile. From East Hills to Peters, we've looked for a while. We've came here to give you your wonderful prize. He held up a trophy in front of my eyes. A prize, and for me? I replied with a grin. But what did I enter, and how did I win? You've won the first prize for the costume you're wearing. It even scares me, and I'm tip-top at scaring. This isn't a costume. I'm just dressed as me. Exactly. The scariest thing you can be, a small human child with a cute button nose. Your teeth are so shiny, you're only 10 toes. No hair on your face and no horns on your head. The whites of your eyes are not glowing or red. A bone-chilling costume, a horrible sight, a worthy assemble for Halloween night. We partied together until the moon set, a Halloween night that I'll never forget. And next year I won't want to hide in my bed. The monsters won't scare me. I'll scare them instead. All right, so that was a Halloween scare in Pittsburgh. I know it didn't have many icons of Pittsburgh as it did with the other two. Well, the first one actually, but still, I'm just happy you got the chance to listen to this story and everything else. And I cannot wait to get into our next story. And don't forget, this Friday I will have a double Halloween story time, and I will also have a double story time this Sunday for, of course, Halloween. So get ready for your double story time on Friday and Halloween Day. And this is Ty saying happy Halloween and a safe one at that. Bye!